Hey guys, Welsknight here, bringing you another brand new episode of DesignTech, my custom mod pack. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing some more work on the base. Now, as you can see, I've been doing some work between episodes, experimenting with kind of designs and things like that, and I finally came up with one that I'm reasonably satisfied with. It took a few hours, actually, trying to play around with the blocks that I actually have access to. Eventually, I switched over to a creative world, but this is kind of what I came up with. So let's kind of break it down. First and foremost, the floor, and I've got two rooms. The main area of the room is 9 by 9, but then we've got these wall indentations and stuff as well. So let's go ahead and kind of build this one up in exactly the same way so you can kind of see how this works. So basically, the first thing is to take bright stone bricks, which are made from the bright stone that we made last episode. It's made pretty much just using cobblestone and redstone. There's a few more steps in the crafting, but you don't actually need any materials beyond cobble and redstone. Looks like I just ran out of bright stone bricks. So let's grab a few more of these. There we go. And it will look something like that. Now, for these middle parts right here, I'm using laboratory blocks from the Chisel mod. Oh, that was a mistake. Get off there. You. Can I get it? I can. Okay. And then we're kind of filling those in back there. I'm going to put a couple torches down here so I don't come back to find a creeper or something. And then these little bits that kind of go around the edge, it's Carpenter's stairs with chiseled dark stone applied to it. Just like this. And what I like about this design is it's fairly flexible and it's very modular. I can easily repeat this kind of design and feel for every room and tunnel and walkway and all that kind of stuff throughout this entire base without too much difficulty. Now, I am out of darkstone. So here's how you get more chiseled darkstone. First, you make the darkstone itself, which is just cobblestone surrounding one of these colorizers, which is redstone and cobble. And then you just take a stack of it, put it in a crafting window, and just keep putting it through, and it will cycle through all the various textures. There we go, chiseled darkstone. And that will give you this kind of nice looking color and texture right here, which I think does a pretty good job of fitting this kind of futuristic sci-fi theme that I'm going for in this kind of underground base. I think it's going to look really cool once it's all done. Now, there we go. That looks good. All right, now the next step is I am going to need more laboratory blocks, and I also need to get those guys up off the ceiling. There we go. Let's see. So we can put... what I really need is some smooth stone. There it is. I knew I had some. And a little bit of quartz. And we'll use this to make laboratory blocks. I did do a little bit of adventuring in the nether to gather the resources for this. And... oh, stop doing that. There we go. And what we'll do is we'll just put it in these gaps. Now, you'll notice that I'm not making them actually touch when it turns a corner, and that's because we'll use this one for an example. It won't connect both ways, which is kind of annoying, but I do have a solution. I have a way to kind of get around that. Finally, the last thing that we're going to do is for the ceiling in here, I'm just going to use plain old bright stone. No texture whatsoever. And we'll just do a little bit of this. And there we go. Let's grab brightstone bricks, brightstone. There we go. We'll grab a little bit more of this. And I think this will be enough to finish off the room. Because I think I had about 40, and there's a little bit of over 40 here. I think I'll have Just enough. Yep. Looks like I have 4 bright stone left over, but it's not hard to make more of it. It really isn't. And we're going to be using it in the ceiling in the hallway as well. Now, speaking of the ceiling in the hallway, I came up with a pretty nifty hallway design too. So what we're going to do is we're going to put down bright stone pillars, which is another one of the textures. It's made in the same way, as I said, just cycle through until you get to the pillar, until you get to the texture that you want. And we'll put that down like so. And then I think I'm going to put bright stone pillars just here at the very entranceway as well. I think that's probably the smart thing to do. And what we could probably do is right here. Let's do that as well. That'll give us kind of this nice symmetrical look that we're going for. I don't know, maybe we'll do this. I think, yeah, that'll work. And then actually, down the middle, we're going to use these pillars again and just kind of make a little thing like this. So you've got just a slight difference in the textures. So that's pretty good. That's coming along nicely. It looks like it's night outside, so let's take a little bit of a nap before we move on to the next stage. And the next stage is lighting, because if any of you have been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that torch spam is something that I absolutely hate. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It can die a million horrible deaths. It's just, ugh. It bothers me. So, we are going to try very, very hard to avoid torch spam. I do need some more redstone. There it is. Do I have any elsewhere? I guess not. Okay. Well, we'll just grab a little bit of that. And let's just make some more of those. And then we can make a bunch of dark stone and a bunch of bright stone. And that we're going to use in the ceiling up in here. I should probably just do it this way. It's probably easier. Big lines. There we go. So, we've got kind of our ceiling texture, and actually it needs to go here too. Like that, and like that. All right, that looks good. Now for lighting, what we're going to do is we're going to make some of these inverted white lamps from Project Red. And for that, I'm going to need white Illumar, but that's pretty easy to make. It's just bone meal or white dye and glowstone dust. And I do have quite a bit of glowstone dust and a whole bunch of bones to make bone meal. So let's make a bit of that. I also should probably put away some of this other random stuff that I don't need at the moment. Cobble can go over there. Okay, that opens up a little bit of storage space for us. Where is the stuff? The stuff and the things. Glass. That's what I need. We need some of that. And I'm also going to need a little bit more redstone, it looks like, because I need some redstone torches. So first and foremost, let's make some of this white Illumar. We'll make, how many of these do we need? 1. So that's 4. And then I think we'll do 4 in each of these rooms. So we'll need 12 total. So I need a little bit more glowstone dust. Oh, no. I need 12 lights, which means I actually need 44? No. 24. The math. I'm not a mathematician, guys. You'll have to forgive me. There we go. Okay. So, 24 of those. That should make us 12 of these lights. And then we're going to make a bunch of glass panes. And we need 12 redstone torches. And that should be everything. Oh, looks like I need a little bit more in the glass pane category. Let's just do that. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so now I've got 12 of these lamps. And what we'll do is we'll put one right there. We'll put one right there. One right here and right here, because they're nice and bright. And then in each of these rooms, I think I'm going to put a lamp here. What is that? Inset 2. So let's see. Bam. Like that. Like that. Bring it in 2 from the corner. Or 3, depending on how you count your blocks. And that looks pretty good. That will give us a nice bright light source, which will hopefully keep everything from spawning. Once I get rid of the torch spam, we'll check and make sure that none of these are spawnable areas, because that would be unfortunate. There. All right. Let's get rid of the torches. Get rid of the torch spam. And F7. Ooh, it can spawn right here. Well, what I could do for that is I could just put one more light in right up there. That would be pretty easy to do. So let's make 2 of those. Make one more redstone torch. And one more of those. And bam, problem solved. No longer a spawnable area. So now nothing can spawn within our base. And that is exactly what we want. That looks pretty good. And I like the design. I think it does quite well. Let me know what you guys think. We might want to do a little bit in here. Maybe mix in some other textures or something. But overall, I think it gives me the general feel that I want for this base. Kind of this futuristic, secret laboratory type of feel. So I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.